Hello friends, welcome to my channel, myself Parag Gambulkar. In this video, we will see how to find broken links in Selenium. Now see, what do you mean by broken link? Broken link is that link which is not getting opened. Link means link of any web page. Now see, why links are not getting opened? Maybe you are wrongly putting URL. Suppose for example, see, instead of writing www, you are writing www only, or instead of http, you are writing st only, something like that. Wrongly, if you are putting URL, because of that, or if that web page is not available, okay, in that server when you have deployed that website, so that web page is not available, but still you are requesting that web page. So maybe because of some reason that link of that web page is not getting opened, that web page is not getting opened, then that link is called as broken link. Because of this broken link, it gives bad impression to the users. That's why every website developer, they want there should not be any broken link in our website. Now see, as a tester, we have to check whether there is any broken link or not. Now see how to find out broken link in our website or web page. Now see, for that we have to take help of HTTP response or status code. Now what is the meaning of this? See, when any web page is getting opened, at that time some response code or status code is written. For example, see, if it is a valid link, if that web page is getting opened properly, so its status code or response code is 200. If it is a bad request, bad URL, so wrongly if you have mentioned URL, HTTP you are not mentioned properly, www that you are not put properly, because of bad URL, if you are putting bad URL there in that link, then we get this 400 response code. You are requesting one web page, but that web page is not available on the server. Whatever the file system that you have deployed on the server, there that web page is not available. Then we get a response code 404. 405 in the sense server knows the request method, but target resource doesn't support this method. So see, there are various request methods. For example, head, get, all these are the different request method. In head request method, we are requesting header. Get request method, we are requesting body of that web page. So server knows that request method, but a resource doesn't support this method. Suppose see, if you are requesting, if you are mentioning head method, but the resource is not supporting that method. In that case, we get response code 405. 503 means server is overloaded and cannot process the request. So if there are more requests to the server and as server is overloaded, it cannot process your request. At that time, we get this response code 503. So all these are the different response code. Now see, suppose if we have to check whether that link is broken or not. So simple logic is, if the response code is greater than or equal to 400, then that link is broken link. See what I'm saying? Link is broken. Link is broken if its response code, is greater than is equal to 400. That is the simple logic. If the response code is greater than or equal to 400, then that link is broken link. So same logic we have to apply when we are writing code. Now see, we will see one example and there we'll see how to check this status code. So see, here I have written code to launch Chrome browser, and in that Chrome browser I am opening this web page. Now see, first thing that we have to do, we have to access all the links. Now see how links are written in web page. So how hyperlinks or links are created. For example, see, if we have click here, something like this. Now see, so if you click on that, click here, so it should get open, right? So for that, anchor tag is used. This is called as anchor tag. Anchor tag. Now see how it is written. So this is anchor tag, and here it is a closing anchor tag. Now see, so how that web page will come to know, after clicking on this, some web page should get opened, right? So we have to provide link, right? So for that we have to use attribute href is equal to, and in double quote we have to mention that web page link. For example, see, www.comrio.com, my website. Okay, so see, now if I click on this, click here, at that time this web page will get open. This, if I click on this click here link, So this web page will get opened. In this way, link is created, and for that purpose we are using this anchor tag. Now see, so in any web page, suppose we want to find out all the links, so what we have to do, we have to find out all the tags wherever we have used this anchor tag. So we have to find out all the anchor tags in that web page, right? Now see, very simple logic. So what we'll do, we have to find out all the web elements which has anchor tag or which have used anchor tag. Now see, so what we'll do, we'll create one list. It will have all the web elements, right? All the web elements. We'll give some name links equal to. Now see, driver dot find elements, not element, not singular. It should be plural, right? It is returning multiple web elements. We have to find out all the web elements where anchor tag is used, right? So second one, elements. Now see, we can use this by dot tag name. This locator we can use, and in double quote we can mention A. A is the anchor tag, right? Okay. So by this we will get all the web elements, and that will be saved in this list. It is showing a red line, so we'll import Java, okay, package for this. For list java.util. For web element again import. Okay. Okay, so that we have imported. Now see next. Now see, all these web elements has come into this list, right? Now we have to check every web element, every link we have to check, and we have to check whether that link is broken or not. Okay, so for that purpose we are using enhance for loop. So see how to use it. Here we'll mention web element. We'll give some name link. See, this is links and this is a link. Okay, so don't get confused between them. Links is list, and here we are creating one link which is a web element. Now see, this is enhance for loop that we are using. We can also use iterator also. Here we are using enhance for loop. Now see, what is the meaning of this? Link is web element, and this loop will run for all the web elements those are present in this list. Now see, for the first web element in this list, loop will run. For the second element in this link, again loop will run. For the third element in this links, again loop will run. So for all the web elements in this list, for that web element, this loop will get run. Means in short, for every link, this loop will get run. Okay. Now see. So what we want to do, we want to access these links, right? Now we know that links are can be accessed by using anchor tag, right? Now in anchor tag, see in anchor tag where we are getting link here, and this link is mentioned by this attribute href, right? So this is link, right? This is actual URL, and this URL from where we are getting by the attribute href. In anchor tag we have href attribute, and this href attribute is pointing to the this particular URL, right? Now see, so we have to take help of this, right? So see, we have to access that URL, okay? Because see that is required. String will give some name URL is equal to. Now see, we want to access this link, right? We want to access this link. Now how we will get from the href attribute? So see, there is one method. So this web element which we are using link, right? Dot get attribute, that is one method. Get attribute is method, and in get attribute method in double quote we have to mention that attribute name. So see, what is the meaning of this? Href, wherever we are using attribute href, so it will return that particular value. So wherever we are mentioning this href, so that in that link, this href who to whom it is pointing, that link will get returned. So in this case, for example, see, if this is the example, so this link will get returned, and this will get assigned to this variable URL. Okay. Now see, so here we got the address, right? We got the URL. Now see, next thing, we have to make connection with that web page, right? We have to make connection to that web page. For that purpose, we have to call one method that is called as open connection. Open connection is method that we have to call. Now see, open connection is a method, right? So method can be called by using object, right? Because see, we know in object oriented programming paradigm, methods can be called by using objects, right? There are some static methods which can be called by using class name. but normally those are non-static methods. They should be called by using the object, right? Now see, we require some object of URL class. URL is class. So first thing that we'll do, we'll import this URL package for the URL class. Okay, java.net, that is the package. Now see, it requires one parameter, and what parameter it requires? This link, and this link we have saved in this variable URL, small URL, right? Okay. Now see, we need to call one method open connection. See, this is the method. Open connection is the method, right? We have to call this method. This open connection method returns object of URL connection. See, this open connection method returns object of URL connection. Now see, we have to make HTTP request. We have to make HTTP request. So whatever this open connection that it will return, that we have to assign it to the HTTP URL connection object. See what I'm saying? See, we are calling this method open connection, right? So that we have called. We are making HTTP request, right? So we have to assign it to object of HTTP URL connection object. See what we are doing, whatever it will return. Actually, what we are trying to do, we are trying to see, we got the link, right? Link of that web page, or URL of that web page we got. Now next task is we have to connect to that URL, right? That is our next task. For that purpose, see, we require some object. So we require this connection object. Okay, so any name we can give. We require this connection object. To get this connection object, we have to call open connection method. This is a method, and for that we require some object, right? So here we are creating object. Here we are passing this URL, and we are calling this open connection method. Why this HTTP URL connection? Because we are trying to make HTTP request, right? That's why we require this HTTP URL connection. Okay, so this will get assigned to the object of HTTP URL connection. We are initializing this object. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll import package for this. Okay, from the java.net. Java.net is package for this. Okay, so that is done. Then we have to cost it. Okay, type casting that we have to do. Again, it is showing red line. We have to add throw the declaration. Okay, so that also will do. Okay, so malform exception and I exception. Okay, so this exception we have to add there. Okay, we got the object, but still we have not made the connection. See, just we have created the object, we have not made the connection. Later on we have to make the connection. Before making connection, one more step that we have to add, we have to mention request method. See, we have to make request method. Say request method. See, in double quote, that method name we have to mention. Now see what is the meaning of this. We require header of the web page. Whatever the web page that is getting opened, we require header of this, or head part of this. See, here we can also mention get. So what is the meaning of get? We will get body of that web page. Okay, but we are not interested in the body of the web page. We are interested in header. Okay, because we require response code, and that will get provided by the header of that web page. Okay, so that's why we are setting request method head. The head is request method. Okay, we require our request method is head. Okay, next thing, then now we have to make connection, and for that purpose we have to call connect method. So by this, now connection will get made. So see what we have done. First we retrieve URL, right, by accessing this method get attribute. So by this you will get the URL. Now see, to make a connection, we require object of the HTTP URL connection class. By the class, first we are setting the request. This request method is head, because we require header information. Then we are creating connection with the URL. Okay, after that, see, after that, once connection is established, then we require response code. See here that we have mentioned, we require this response code, right? We require the response code, and once we get the response code, afterwards we'll check if the response code is greater than or equal to 400, then it is broken, otherwise it is not broken. So see, that thing we'll mention here. So see, we require response code, right? So we'll do response code is equal to this connection object dot get response code. Okay, this method will call. So by this we'll get response code in this variable. Now it is very simple. Just we have to check whether this response code is greater than is equal to 400. If it is that, then our link is broken. If it is greater than is equal to 400, then our link is broken. Otherwise, it is not broken. Now see. So what we'll do, we'll print message for this. Control space enter. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll because see, we have to check which link is broken, right? So how we'll come to know? We require text on that link, right? So for example, see here it is a click here. This is a text for that link. Actual link will be this. If I click on click here, then it will go to the this link. So link text of the link is click here, right? So this text we should know. Then only we will come to know this particular link is broken, right? So we require this text. So see here we will mention link text. Okay, and from where we'll get plus. Plus is used for the concatenation in Java language. Then we require this, right? So link dot get text. So from this we'll get the text plus again for the concatenation. Okay, then I am giving one space. There should be one space between this and this, right? Then we'll mention response code. Okay, so we'll check what is the response code. So that also will print response response code. Okay, and from where we'll get the response code? Here only, in this variable that we are mentioning, right? Response code. Okay, so see everything is done. Very simple, just logic that we have to apply there, right? Now see, we'll run our code and we'll see what problem we face. Okay, one more thing that we'll do, so once it is open, see we don't require that web page, right? So what we'll do, driver dot quit, right? Means once our work is done, that web page should get closed, the browser should get closed. Okay, now see, so we'll run our code. See, I will minimize it. Now see here we got one error. See java.net malform URL exception. See we get such kind of error if see sometimes what happen, for some URL something like this, href is equal to something like this. If such kind of things are mentioned in any anchor tag, so it is considered as a malform URL. Okay, and we get such kind of exception. So what we will do, see one logic will apply. See every URL, okay, so definitely there will be dot, right? There will be dot. So instead of using this tag name, what we'll use, we'll create XPath, and in that XPath we will check whether that href contains dot. Anyhow, see that URL will contain dot. Okay, so instead of using this tag name, we'll use XPath. So see here, we'll remove this. So see by dot XPath in double quote. Okay, there we have to mention the XPath. Now see, 2/ anchor tag, right? Anchor tag, and here we have to mention the attribute and value, right? So see, we'll check. See any href value, it will contain dot, right? So one simple XPath will create contains at href comma dot. Okay, so that will mention in single quote. Okay, so href if the content dot, okay, in simple XPath we are mentioning. So anyhow we are focusing on the anchor tag only, but by tag name it was not working. So what we have done, we are checking whether we are creating XPath, and we are creating XPath for the anchor tag, and we are checking that href contains dot or not. So that will be the valid URL. Okay, so likewise we are mentioning that. Okay, so it is done. Now again we will run our code. Okay, we'll minimize it. Let us see. So it is taking time because see, it is searching all the links. So see, we are getting result. So see, blank text and response code 404 means that resource is not available. The web page is not available. Okay, see, we are getting this result. Right? See, status code 404. That means that web page is not available. So see here we are getting these broken links, right? So that browser also got closed. Okay, so this was a previous one, and again one was opened, right? That got closed. So these are the broken links in that web page. Okay, these are the broken links. Okay, so in this way we can find out broken links from any web page, and simple logic we have to apply. Just we have to get response code, and that we have to check whether it is greater than or equal to 400. Okay, so I will provide this program code in my blog post, and that blog post link I will provide in description box. From there you can take this code. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.